Good morning, everyone. This is Father Nate, missionary priest in Italy. Today is Thursday, July 31st of 2025, and we're celebrating the memorial of St. Ignatius of Loyola, priest. He's the founder of the community known as the Jesuits, the Company of Jesus. Today's gospel is the gospel from the day, so not from St. Ignatius of Loyola, but it would be Thursday of the 17th week in Ordinary Time. And it comes to us from Matthew's Gospel, chapter 13, verses 47 through 53. Jesus said to the disciples, "The kingdom of heaven is like a net thrown into the sea, which collects fish of every kind. When it is full, they haul it ashore, and sit down to put what is good into buckets. What is bad, they throw away. Thus it will be at the end of the age. The angels will go out and separate the wicked from the righteous, and throw them into the fiery furnace, where there will be wailing and grinding of teeth." "Do you understand all these things?" They answered, "Yes." Then he replied, "Then every scribe who has been instructed in the kingdom of heaven is like the head of a household, who brings from his storeroom both the new and the old." When Jesus finished these parables, he went away from there. Today's first reading focuses on the dwelling place that Moses erected in the desert for the Ark of the Covenant. Now, when completed, God comes into the dwelling, and he covers it with a cloud. The cloud rises and leads the Israelites by day, and even gives them shade, as Psalm 105 recounts. However, during the night, the cloud is particularly impressive. Fire appears inside of it, and it illumines the darkness of night. Now, it's interesting that the text emphasizes that the cloud was seen, quote, by the whole house of Israel in all the stages of their journey. That is, by everybody at all times. Each day, they either saw it stay put or rise. And every night, everyone, without exception, saw it amidst the darkness. I mean, again, it seems fairly obvious that, in particular, a fiery cloud in the night would have been seen by everybody. But for some reason, God wanted that point emphasized. Now, there's two things that are worth considering here. First, what was the Israelites' reaction to that presence? Well, we know they complained, doubted, and at times they even broke faith with God. This miraculous presence of the fiery cloud at night and the cloud during the day, a miraculous presence that everybody saw, had little impact on many of them. They let themselves be overwhelmed by the things they suffered. Even though God's presence stared them in the face day after day, many refused to believe. That was their reaction. Secondly, in Exodus 13, we read that the Israelites could travel both during the day and during the night. They had to be ready to move forward at any time. Yet sometimes the cloud didn't lift up and go forward at all. In these times, God simply asked them to stay put. He asked them to remain in his presence. They didn't have to do anything or go anywhere. They just needed to stay and trust. Now, both of these points are repeated day after day in our own lives. We too, in our churches, have a little flame next to the tabernacle to indicate God's presence within. Everyone can see that flame anytime they came into the church, but only a few really grasp what it means. As St. Charles de Foucauld wrote, we know that our lives on earth are not meant to be easy. He writes, "We are pilgrims and strangers on earth. Pilgrims sleep in tents and sometimes cross deserts, but the thought of their homeland makes them forget everything else." So we can ask ourselves, in our earthly journey, how do we respond to suffering? With complaining like the Israelites? Secondly, are we content to do whatever God asks of us, even if that means just sitting still in his presence? Of course, this can mean sitting still in his presence in prayer, but also in our lives. It can mean just waiting patiently for him to reveal his will. As St. Claude de la Colombière once wrote, he said, "Our Lord requires a great sacrifice of me, and that is to do nothing if it is his will." Our Lord requires a great sacrifice of me, and that is to do nothing if it is his will. That is, to simply sit in his presence and wait. Since with God, time is never wasted. So today, through the intercession of Mary, who's revered actually under the name of Our Lady of the Cloud, let's ask for the grace to accept whatever God sends us, and to wait upon his will, even if that means sitting silently in his presence.
If you found this video fruitful, please feel free to share it with a friend or family member. Or if you would like to learn more about our missionary priests throughout the world and how to support them, please visit iveamerica.org. Thank you for watching, and God bless.